Driving Off the Spleen, a humorous exploration of Ishmael's psychosomatic illness in Moby-Dick. The third sentence of Moby-Dick takes a sharp turn into medical melodrama. It is a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating the circulation. Here, Ishmael casually explains his decision to go to sea as a peculiar form of self-medication. While modern readers might interpret this as a metaphor for combating melancholy or boredom, Ishmael describes it as if he, following a doctor's prescription, take one sea voyage every 6 months for mood stabilization and improved cardiovascular health. The humor, of course, lies in the fact that Ishmael's illness seems to exist entirely in his head, making it one of literature's most delightfully psychosomatic conditions. Let's dive into the spleen and circulation of it all, and explore how Ishmael's self-diagnosis sets the stage for Melville's themes of escapism, existential dread, and humanity's bizarre relationship with its own mental health. The spleen, melancholy, or malarkey. In Ishmael's time, the spleen wasn't just a lump of lymphatic tissue lurking beneath the stomach. It was a symbol of melancholy and ill temper. To be spleenful was to be grumpy, despondent, or downright irritable. Ishmael's claim that he needs to drive off the spleen sounds dramatic, but in reality, he's probably just bored out of his mind. Spleen as a scapegoat. Blaming the spleen for his woes lets Ishmael sidestep deeper introspection. Is his spleen really to blame? Or is he just avoiding life's responsibilities by hopping aboard a whaling ship? Imagine calling your boss to say, "I can't come in today. My spleen is acting up." Ishmael is essentially doing that on a cosmic scale. The spleen as a literary device, Melville, ever the theatrical writer, uses the spleen to signal Ishmael's inner turmoil. But instead of delving into therapy or journaling his feelings, Ishmael opts for the 19th century equivalent of a midlife crisis road trip, heading out to sea. Regulating the circulation, a cardiovascular conundrum. Ishmael's claim that a sea voyage helps regulate the circulation is both hilarious and wildly unscientific. The idea of whaling as a cure all for circulatory issues is akin to recommending skydiving to treat anxiety. It's bold, dramatic, and probably not great for your heart. The nautical gym membership, Ishmael seems to view the Pequod as his personal gym, where he'll get a workout from hauling harpoons and battling the waves. Forget treadmills or yoga. This is the extreme sport of self-care. The humor lies in how earnestly he believes that braving storms and chasing whales will somehow stabilize his blood flow. Sea air, as a panacea, there's a romantic notion that fresh sea air cures all ailments. While it's true that salty breezes can be invigorating, Ishmael's belief that it will fix his circulation is dubious at best. More likely, he's using circulation as a stand-in for existential unease, because nothing says I'm tackling my inner demons like harpooning a leviathan. Psychosomatic silliness, escapism disguised as medicine. Ishmael's self-diagnosis reveals that his illness is psychosomatic, rooted more in his mind than his body. This isn't an actual health crisis. It's an existential one. His spleen isn't the problem. His soul is restless. But rather than confront this head-on, Ishmael frames his malaise as a physical condition, because acknowledging the truth would require the kind of self-awareness that might prevent him from boarding the Pequod in the first place. The psychology of escapism. Ishmael's medical reasoning is a thinly veiled excuse to flee his humdrum life on shore. He's not sick, he's stuck. The spleen and circulation bit is a humorous deflection from the fact that he simply wants to run away. Over-the-top remedies, in true literary fashion, Ishmael doesn't just take a walk or pick up a hobby, he goes all in on a whaling expedition. It's as if someone with mild seasonal depression decided the best solution was to climb Mount Everest. The absurdity of his cure highlights how humans often overcorrect when facing dissatisfaction. Themes of control and chaos. Ishmael's quest to regulate his circulation parallels Ahab's attempt to assert control over the uncontrollable. Both men are grappling with internal turmoil. But where Ahab externalizes his struggle by waging war against Moby-Dick, Ishmael internalizes his, channeling it into psychosomatic symptoms. Ishmael. As the anti-Ahab, while Ahab seeks dominion over the natural world, Ishmael focuses on his own body. His concern with circulation reflects a desire for balance and order, traits that are entirely absent in Ahab's monomaniacal quest. A prelude to madness, Ishmael's casual self-diagnosis foreshadows the deeper existential themes of the novel. The spleen and circulation are stand-ins for the larger, more unanswerable questions about humanity's place in an indifferent universe. Why the humor matters. Melville's humor in this sentence is essential. It makes Ishmael relatable, grounding the novel's epic scope in a moment of human absurdity. We've all been there, overthinking our problems, inventing cures, and embarking on wildly unnecessary adventures, because it feels better than sitting still. Ishmael's reasoning is both ridiculous and deeply human, setting the tone for a story that oscillates between cosmic grandeur and everyday folly. Conclusion: the sea is spleen therapy. In Moby-Dick's third sentence, Ishmael explains his decision to go to sea with a mix of humor and melodrama, blaming his spleen and circulation for his malaise. Beneath this comic veneer lies a deeper truth. Ishmael's journey is less about physical health and more about escaping the monotony and restlessness of life on shore. Melville uses Ishmael's psychosomatic symptoms to set up the novel's grand themes: humanity's quest for meaning, the tension between control and chaos, and the hilarity of how we rationalize our irrational decisions. So, the next time life feels overwhelming, take a page from Ishmael's book, blame your spleen, hop on a metaphorical whaling ship, and set sail for the watery part of your own world. Just maybe leave the harpoon at home.